So, of course, Paul's here to talk about the classic car show at Ascot, but we should...
And Hawaiian shirts.
And Hawaiian shirts, and broken chairs, as it turns out. But we should also
we haven't upset Paul because he's still talking about it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, he's been here...
Shirts,
he's been here twice with the both of us, and once or twice before that, I think, Paul.
Yeah, a few times.
So you're either an idiot...
Sucker for punishment.
Glutton for punishment, or you quite like being here.
Yeah.
I think it's just to expose Terry to your magnificent. It's number 2. To expose Terry to your magnificent selection of palm-related shirts.
Well, next time I come, I will wear something brighter than this because this
You
is.
mean you have another one?
Look, this is very, very.
It is very
sedate. Yes.
Well, that's why Terry was saying he'll be wearing his shades. He'll need to counteract the brilliance of your Hawaiian shirt.
Okay.
So look,
carry on.
Talking about
Paul's here to talk about something, I'm sure.
He is,
Right.
but
What
I'm
is it?
trying to get
What
to
it
it.
is?
I'm trying to get to it through coming events. So Terry, shut up.
I'm all ears.
Thanks, mate.
I'm all ears.
Obviously, April's quite a big month, and the weekend of Saturday the 10th and Sunday the 11th is the Northern Motorsport Festival, and that includes the Mount Omni Hill climb on Saturday, and of course the classic Flying 50 street circuit on the Sunday. And that's a real festival of activity in Northam across that weekend, and whether you can be there for both events or just turn up for a couple of hours, it's well worth the trip, and it's a great drive out to Northam as well. So that's coming up.
So the 11th?
That is the 10th and 11th.
10th
That's
and 11th.
So next weekend, a full weekend, and then of course after that, Sunday the 18th, we should have had some sort of fanfare sound effect, I think. There you go, very good. Of course, the Shannon's 2021 Classic Car Show, which is organised by Paul and the CMC of WA, mostly by Paul, at the Ascot Racecourse. And that's open to the public from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So any other detail, obviously we're running a promo and have been for several weeks on air, but Paul, from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Steady.
I didn't.
We've upset him enough as it is. Let alone you put his teeth back in. He will do that.
I am not referring to Paul as a horse. Wilbur, come into the room. Paul.
Yes.
What's that song? A horse, of course.
A horse is a horse, of course. Yeah, it was the theme tune to Mr. Ed. Yes.
I'm a Mr. Ed. I've got that.
I'm sure you do, and I'm sure that if you put it on the turntable, Terry, we'd end up with a theme tune to Cop Shop.
Mr. Ed.
There you are.
I've got Mr. Ed, but not on. I've got Mr. Ed.
That's me getting you back
go.
for the broken chair this morning, you swine. Paul, so open to the public from 10 till 3.
Yes.
What's the cost for people to come in?
It's $10 per adult, and kids come in for free.
Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah, and there's lots of parking on site, so you don't have to worry about parking.
Excellent.
We also have food and drink vendors there to get something to eat, wander around, enjoy the cars, enjoy the grounds.
Enjoy the grounds, which are
have
beautiful.
something to eat, have something to drink, take lots of photos, tell your friends, and enjoy
And
the
the
day.
specialty is Australian assembled or Australian built cars.
Australian.
Yeah, the theme this year is Made in Australia. And last year, when Holden made their announcement, just before the last car show, that they were pinning Holden.
Basically pulling out of Australia completely.
Holden shut down, and that was a bit of a shock, right? So we didn't have enough time to do anything to reflect that as part of a theme. But this year, it's Made in Australia. So, yeah, Holden was the big company for Australian-built cars.
And built
Very
a lot of,
iconic.
And built a lot of other marks as well. Of course.
Yes, yeah. When you look at
We're talking
Holden's
about,
previous history before they became just a car builder themselves. So the CMC, we've had a look at the wide variety of cars that were actually made in Australia.
And there are many.
There are many.
We make the point in the promo, it's not just about Holdens and Fords, of
Yes.
course, which is a big chunk, but there are so many other vehicles made in Australia.
B76s.
Yes, Leyland was a big
Leyland,
one.
big, yep.
But as Terry would know, Vauxhall.
Yes.
And you've got a Vauxhall out here, which was
Yes.
assembled in Western Australia, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, it's got local provenance. That's fantastic.
And
I
the
didn't
pressing
realise.
on it to say P for Perth.
Yeah. We got Ford Model A, which was built at North Fremantle. We're going to have that one in there.
Yes.
Yeah, because
What is now the brewing company,
yes,
but used to be the
Matilda
Ford
Bay.
assembly
Used
plant.
to be the Ford assembly plant. We've
Well, they assembled Zephyrs as well there.
Yes,
Zephyrs,
yeah,
Consols,
so
Prefects, whatever, have it
there was
all done down
a
in
really wide variety of
Oh,
things
good.
that were made, and one of the cars that I'm particularly pleased to have here is in the display is a 1938 DKW F7. It's a German car. You know,
Yeah.
I've got DKWs.
You
They're
do?
two-stroke
No,
motor
I do.
cars.
No, I
We
didn't know you had
we
those.
did all the jokes last time you were
I
here.
didn't,
Yes.
know, I didn't know he had those cars.
Yes,
He's
yeah.
doing around the houses of Northam next week, isn't it, the old DKW?
Well, yes, but 4 days after the event's concluded. But anyway,
Drives very fast. Thank you. It's very fast on the freeway. Just
Moving
not
on.
the hill.
What about
But
Gooseberry
this DKW was built in Perth.
Wow.
So they shipped the bodies over, the chassis and the engine, and they were bodied by Boltons.
Yeah.
In
West
Perth.
Bolton.
J.W. Bolton.
They did also buses. So
They
that was one of the
certainly did.
main businesses
Certainly did.
was buses. But they also assembled a few other marques as well. And they assembled all the West Australian DKW cars. And there's probably only about 50 or so. But we know of 2 in Western Australia have survived.
Wow.
So we've got one of those coming down. It's got the little badge on it, saying assembled at
Really?
Boltons.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So-
interesting.
and again, that's something that many people wouldn't even know.
No.
And then we've got
That'd be a good quiz night question. wouldn't it?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
of course they do know now, some of them, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't have thought that. No.
So we've got the Goggamobile Dart, which is really
Yes.
good to have secured
Well,
one
of
of those.
course.
That's
Well,
very
of course.
iconic.
Not the Dart.
Not the Dart. And it actually
Is
it
the
is
Dart.
the Dart. Yes.
G-O-G-G-O.
The very commercial.
We've got the Lightburn Zeta. We've got one of
Yes,
those coming down.
Paul did a little rear view mirror for us last week, Paul Blank, and he touched on the Lightburn Zeta, and we did make, of course, washing
Yes.
machine jokes and the like. But that's
He used
fantastic.
to own one for
He did.
ages, yes.
He's very passionate,
Yeah.
and surprisingly undamaged by the experience.
Yes. He still does describe it as one of the worst cars, probably
Oh,
the
no.
worst car he ever owned.
But given Paul's car background,
Yes.
that's almost a badge of honour.
Yes,
because
he had it for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Which for a
it's
car that was terrible.
Do you realise why? He brought it home, parked it in the garage, and couldn't start it for another 2 decades. So. Good morning, Mr. Blank.
And we've got the Bolwell Club coming as
Yeah,
well. And they're
fantastic.
bringing in a bunch of Bolwells, which again, like it's very rare to have many of those. There's a club,
There is.
but they hardly ever, assemble them together.
Yeah.
So they're bringing them out so that we can have a display.
How many Bolwells will be there? 4 or 5?
Yeah, hopefully.
Fantastic.
They've got to be running on the day. of
Well,
course.
I've never seen more than one in any one place. So it would be
Yes, yeah.
really fascinating.
Yeah, it would be good to see more. We've got about 3 lined up at the moment, but they're
excellent.
still, by the day, we should have a couple more. Touch wood. What we've got Singer, Australian assembled
Australian,
Singers.
Yes.
We've got standards.
Yeah, Vanguards are all AMC,
Vanguards,
AMI, should
Yeah,
AMI. Yeah.
Well, there'll be
Pontiac Laurentian.
Yes.
as
yes,
well,
yes,
which
the
is-
Laurentian, which
Yeah.
was
Yes.
built in Australia.
Yeah.
And then that's just in the part of the special display. Then of course you've got all the other car clubs have got their displays on, and they've put up things for like vehicles. there.
Most particularly the TSOA, my club will be there on the day,
Yeah.
and of course there were many tribes that were assembled at
2500s and the
at
2000s.
AMI,
All-
yes,
all
absolutely.
done on AMI.
And we have-
Vanguards were assembled AMI.
Yep, and we
Yeah.
will have several there on the day.
That's good. Yeah, we can lend you, or we can give you a couple of Australian flags to hang on some of these cars. so
By
that people
all
know.
means.
Well, I think I'll have one before you leave the door. Grab his shirt. He's got a couple of those flags
Yeah,
in the shirt.
well, he's not short of a shirt. So.
Not short of a shirt.
Not
You
short
could
of a
lose his
shirt.
shirt on this show. I tell you. He won't be invited on another one.
Well, after your performance today, Terry, I don't think you'll be invited back, and it's your show.
So we've got a bit of a write-up that goes along with each of the cars, to explain their context and explain some of the
Excellent.
details and things like AMI.
Do I have to give you one about my Vauxhall, by the way, while it matters?
If you want to drop me a line about.
Do you want to drop you a line?
Yeah, drop
Are
me
you-
a
are
line.
you bringing-
On the washing line, you mean?
Terry, no, that's
Type
the
some
light burn.
words. Type some words.
That's the light
press
burn.
send.
Terry, are you bringing said Vauxhall on the day?
Yes,
I've
yeah.
already rung him up. I've got the okay.
You got the
He's
okay.
got the-
You've had a
got the
papal
special
dispensation.
Special
Dispensation.
parking spot for
Hang on. hang on. I didn't want that sort of okay.
Pope Paul the First.
Pope
Bless you, my son.
Paul, it's been fabulous having you on the show. Thank you so
Always a
much for
pleasure.
coming in again and battling the hill.
And then battling with Terry.
No. After the microphones go off, I'm going to apologise to Mr. Markham on behalf of KCR.
Take him to the VR suite. He can sit in one of those lovely chairs.
I may even adjust the letters and take him to the VIP suite. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Terry. Have a great Easter, everybody.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you at the show.
Good man.